Good morning. Oh, man. All right. Let's see if I can find that. All right, we're going to be masking this little guy. Let's mask. Hey, Joe. Good morning. Ooh. She's a strong cup of coffee this morning. Hey, Nick. So very quickly, last night when on our Zoom call, on our Zoom meeting with Patriot, I interestingly enough, I painted the white. I used Mr. Color white. It's basically a U.S. Navy white, but it literally is the same color as the primer. Okay, or pretty damn close to it. Maybe a slightly lighter shade. Well, yesterday, a perfect balance. Perfect balance? What was perfect balance, Joe? What's going on? So this is pretty interesting. And then I also worked on the base. So basically, I took this little piece of, see how I can get some more of these things, piece of material. I'm going to paint this and stuck in a brass, it's mostly a rod, and CA glued it in place using baking soda. I mean, that thing is in there tight. Spring equinox was yesterday. Oh, and a bunch of good stuff happened. Joe, tell us the good stuff. I always want to hear good stuff. And right now, the plane's just placed in there. It's not glued in because I will be painting it separately from the base. The base is going to get painted. So we got that. Let's get some more coffee going. And then we're going to talk a little bit about colors. Masking tape is not staying. I may have to relay down some masking tape. I'm not sure yet. All right. Let's get to this. Push all this aside. There we go. Don't need this right now. Need to hear good stuff. I like hearing good stuff. That and that. All right. Now let's see if we can figure out where the Hinomarus are going to get laid. Yeah, I think we're going to do just that. Hey, Tony. Good morning. How are you? Okay, so wife got a job with me as the OA for the office for our community. $4 more an hour. Jocelyn got her their job with the horticulture club. Nice. Yep, we knew about that. Congratulations to her. And moving over here, and I'm getting a promotion in April. Really? So, Joe, they are finally doing that. Congratulations to both you and your wife. That's awesome, man. That is awesome. Doing okay. Finished the XGA yesterday. Plane looks amazing. Plane looks, no, Joe, no, we're not going to go that far. I appreciate it. No, the plane looks okay. Tony, how's things going? How's your dad doing? With the XIA being done, I would have thought there would have been some elation. Is there something that kind of brought that down? All right, let's get the Mars going here. Hey, Kevin, good morning. Well, from my desk to yours. Thank you. All right, so we're going to take a look at, take a look at that photo again. I think I know where I need to put it. Yeah. It will not be touching, theoretically, this should not be touching the rudder itself. And that's the problem with this right now. This has to come off. No, just had some time yesterday. Woke up at 4 a.m. Worked a couple hours to finish the watch. He's nice. Dad is doing well. He is almost overdoing it. Really? Hey, maybe sometimes when you're dealt a maybe not a surprise, but when you're dealt a situation, your reaction could be, well, I'm going to shut down, and other people are like, let's do stuff. Who knows? Hey, Ken, good morning. Yeah. I'm just I like that. I don't like that. There we go. Looking at the photo, it should be larger, but I'm not going to go larger because I'm not going to do a dual mask. I'm not going to paint the red here on Mars. It's just not that important to me. I want this model done because I've got 2 weeks to get it done. And I believe after we're done, he had PT eval yesterday, and they said he is doing great with his foot. So that also helped boost his spirits a bit. That's awesome news, Tony. That is absolutely fantastic news. Yeah, I'm trying to get this thing done. I mean, everything else after this is going to be basically painting. Depending on how today goes, we're going to be out of town most of the day. But depending on how the day goes, I should be able to get the brown paint laid down. I haven't decided which brown yet to use, and I will tell you, it is shockingly different how the gloss brown from Mr. Color number 7 versus the NATO brown are. Now I know that they're different colors, but I look at the brown from I'm gonna open up the jar after we're done with the masking. I'm looking at the jar of Mr. Color, and it's like that to me looks so orangey. It's shocking. I have a lot of earthy colors in water-based acrylics and not as many in lacquers. Okay. All right. One of the Hunomars is down. Let's just do a quick measurement here. Sisters, not twins. Hey, Peter. Good morning. Touching the corner, and we are down 3 millimeter. Morning, Peter. Peter, greetings to Denmark, the city by the bay. But is Denmark a city? Wait, that's it. I was going to say, really? Oops, nope. That's what I don't want to do. Got to use the blade to do this, to lift this thing up, not the... I don't want to use the tweezers, because then what you'll do is you'll pull the tape in a way that will damage it. There we go. Now we can use it to lift. There we go. Let's see. Connor's the brown look. Also, hi and good morning. Hey, good morning, Katie. How are you? I'm assuming this is Katie still. There's a Denmark, Maine. There's an everything, Maine. Poland, Maine, Denmark, Maine, Norway, Maine, Mexico, Maine. I mean, I love it. My standard opening when meeting someone from other country, it lowers their expectations from me. Nice, Joe. So spring equinox is a day supposed to bring balance to the world, as the world shares a perfect balance of dark and light. I am still Katie. I love it. I know I know Ray sent me he texted me last night with a photo. I have not had an opportunity, or yesterday, I think it was, at some point. I've not even had a chance to look at it. Yesterday was a pretty fucked day at work. And in fact, I was sending a bunch of texts out, even some personal ones at one point, and they all failed. None of them went out. Then, of course, when you reboot everything, well, that just blew everything up. I think that's it. Meaning that, oh, gotta lower it just a smidge. None of it's saved. And I sent like 7 or 8 texts, and none of them went through, including one to a bunch to my sister. So she's probably thinking, like everybody else, that I'm blowing everybody off. Well, I guess I kind of was at that point. So I think we got that one now. 3. Perfect. There we go. 1, 2. on, Ken. And spring almanacs. Spring almanacs is supposed to bring balance to the chat, as chat shares a perfect balance of hate and humor. Oh, I hope hate. No hate. And along those lines, George is old. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Peter, if memory serves, 1, you are not very far behind. And 2, you're getting old as well. And at some point, you're going to have people coming up to you and say, hey, you're old. I love it. I love when my kids tell me, hey, you're old. Yeah, tell me something I don't know. George is nice. And I didn't even pay Ken to say that. All right. I got to slow this down because I've got, what time is it now? 6:30. I'm going to be on here till close to 8. I don't have a lot of work to do on this thing. Though I am surprised the masking tape is lifting on this. I've never had Tamiya tape lift before. I mean, I'm wondering if part of it is that I did. We may have to relay down some masking tape here. There is some of the liquid mask that's there as well, and maybe that's causing the tape to lift. It's a little strange, but okay. Ken, you're the pinnacle of kindness. Pinnacle. All right, let's get the next one down. I need to see visually where this is going to go. We can talk about colors in a second here too. Oh yeah, Jesus, that is a different color. So I want to just call something out. This is interesting. So colors again don't come through very well here, right? They rarely call through here. But if one were to look at that, one would say, holy snap. That is a very orange color, correct? Very orange. As someone who deals with tapes, adhesives a lot at work, if you don't prep your surface correctly, you can definitely run into issues. Yeah. And in fact, Katie, what I did was, and this is part of the problem here, it's right below it. I did use liquid mask in the areas that I did and put the tape on top because I wanted to get around this little blippy thing here to work around it. I think what we're going to do is we're just going to cut that masking off and we're going to relay it down. The mask around it is lifting. So yeah, I think we're just going to have to redo some of that. Your point is 100% correct. If the surface isn't properly prepared, expect the worst. Katie, speaking of conversation that happened last night on our meeting, our Zoom meeting, the recommendation, instead of using masking tape for creating masks like this, was to use Art Tool. See if I can get the name right. Art Tool Ultra Mask. Are you familiar with that stuff? There. If anybody's ever used this stuff. Did you get anywhere with line? No, I have not. Did not play with it after I got it loaded up here, Peter. But it is something I will be working on, hopefully within the next week. Speaking of old, a patient asked me yesterday if all televisions were black and white when I was young. He also never heard of Wu-Tang Clan, so I didn't feel that bad. Okay, first of all, I got to ask a question. How did Wu-Tang come up in that conversation? So I was moving some kids around just for now while reorganizing and just found out I ordered a second set of water slides for a kit at some point. Ah, anyone ever else do that? I have bought stuff like that before. It's like I've duplicated stuff. That's why now I have a master list of models, paints, and stuff like that. Water slides, I'm not concerned with because water slides to me, the more the merrier. You can always use them for something. But in terms of like paints and chisels, supplies, anything that's kind of critical, models, yes, I always keep lists of. So I have done it in the past, and that's kind of stopped it from happening. Anyway, real quickly, notice how orange that is, right? But if you go to, I'll go to this box art. It's got more of a lemony yellow kind of look to it, right? Again, that's the model, I guess, that the guy finished. Very orangey, but it's a little bit more yellowy. So I then decide, okay, so let's take a look at the color that this is the 1/72nd scale. Look at the 1/48 scale manual and see what colors they call out. Because my original thought was to use this number 59 orange. However, and this is the one that likely will be used. This is the orange yellow, which is actually listed as IJA IJN aircraft, number 58. So I like that orange, but I'm going to go with this. I do thermal industrial stuff for work, but it is thinner plastic versus thicker tape. So, man, you may have success. What was the basis for the recommendation? Good adhesion. It is like it's a clear material or a translucent material because it is not tape based, kind of like the masking tape. It is more of like a mylar-y material. The edges are much sharper, so you have a greater a cleaner cut and therefore a sharper edge when laying it down for masking purposes. I believe you can also use it in a cry cut. Let's see, tangential. So topics jump quite often and rapidly. Interesting conversation though. And yeah, at least they are the water slides and not a whole other exactly P Bandai kit. Oh, I love that orange. Which orange are we talking about? The yellowy orange or the orange orange? Also, planes are allowed to be different colors, George. They are. And this brings up a very good question, Katie, and I'll get to that in just a second. Okay, that is okay, but orange is okayer. There's like a tarnished contrast and a white contrast. And there also, George, at least that is why what my eyes see. Tarnish versus interesting. I don't believe it's tarnished. I think that's the actual color. I love the clockwork orange shade. Yeah. So I am likely going to use this. If you guys remember, I've said quite often, every model kind of tells me its story when I do the finish work on it. This is one of those models that I wanted it to be historically accurate. That was my choice. As you guys know, most models that I've worked on that are not historically accurate because I just don't give a shit. But this one, I wanted it to be historically accurate. So this one is going to get that orange yellow finish because I want to replicate that. I'm also part of the other reason for that story is because this model is being made for, it's part of the Kirk collection. And I kind of felt an obligation, I don't know why, not like I needed to do it, but I felt like a personal obligation to finishing this thing in its the way the guy who had this model in his collection would have wanted it. Again, the model is kind of dictating the story. And I like kind of doing that. There are other models where it's like, I'll look at it, it's like, yep, now I'm going to do it my way. But this one here, yeah. I love the clockwork orange. Oh, I do too. And trust me, this color will get used. As an example, a lot of the Meng tanks that I'm going to be working on, for people, let me bring this one over real quickly. So for people who might remember this little guy, my goal, my hope is to continue to paint all of the Meng armor that I get in these kinds of colors. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have a rainbow army tank, rainbow army. I'm going to have a yellow based one, red, orange, green, blue, indigo, violet. I'm going to have a tank of every kind of finish like that. This one here is actually going to be used for a different diorama base at some point, but I will be using, but I will be doing that on these on those Meng tanks. The tanks themselves, maybe not the track vehicle on the wheeled vehicles. Hey Tom, good morning. Oh, cool painted anime style, like the box art. Yeah, I'm not good at doing that stuff. Did you scan the notes for the Spitfires? Oh yeah, like there are, I don't know, well over 30 pages of notes. You're going to have a coalition of rainbow tanks? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Which I'm pretty happy about. Let me put this guy away and I'll be right back. All right. Hey, Tom. All right, let's get down another here tomorrow, and we got a couple more things we're going to do. The orange paint could also be useful if making either Dorito replicas or presidential miniatures. It is possible. Let's take a look at that color again. Yeah, Peter, I would not disagree with you. I think that's a very presidential color. That's funny as fuck. And then, like I said, I've got to determine whether I'm going to be doing, that's the brown from Mr. Color. And that's the NATO brown from Tamiya. Radically different. I'm debating using this one underneath, though I might try both of them to see, spray both of them and see which one I prefer as the pre-shade. Georgian Rainbow Coalition. Oh, absolutely. Remember the Rainbow Warrior? They love fucking with whaling ships. Learned from Weekly Reader in grade school. Yeah. Whatever happened to that ship? Something tells me it's been decommissioned, but I could be wrong. The one thing we don't hear enough of, remember, like you used to hear from Greenpeace all the time. I miss those days. All right. Let's get down a couple more masks, and we're going to do a show and tell as well. Okay. Let's get the photo back up. I think I know where these things are going to go anyway. I will say well, that's interesting. Oh, there was a pilot. Excuse me, there was a pilot in there. Dude, for a second there, it looked like the box art had the plane flying with it. You couldn't see the pilot. I'm like, what the hell are they doing? Yeah, here's the actual. I guess this is a recreation of the plane. I believe the originals are all gone, but yeah, it's got that yellowy color. This girl also has NATO brown. It's C520. Yes, I might have it. Like I said, I don't care because this is going to be a what they call it, Peter. It's going to be the pre-shade color. It's just a matter of whether I want to lay the yellow on top of the Mr. Color or this. Something tells me this will be a little bit more neutral, more contrasty. We'll see. If I don't like it, just keep flooding the thing with paint until the most of that's gone. All right, give me 1 second here. We are now going back to Tony's point, by the way. Like, I have a list of all the paints that I have in my collection from every manufacturer. That way, if I'm ever out shopping and saying, shit, I think I need a paint, but I might have that one already, I'll double check. Or if I'm ever in a shop and just thinking, you know what, I'm going to buy some paints. Which ones do I not have? Then I'll just, like I like that one. I like that one. Do I have them? Nope. Great. Buy them. Okay. Let's go back to here. Sorry, I'm just trying to find. Where did it go? Sorry, guys. I'm trying to. I just had the fucking thing. Right there. Instructions. Hello. Yeah, perfect. There we go. Want to see on the wings where the Hinomaros go. Crossing over a little bit. There we go. Got it. Love it. I'm going to leave it right here. I need inventory, my paints and kits and water slides and get organized. Apparently, it helps because otherwise you're 100% right. Like there's many times like, ooh, I should pick up that model. Wait, do I have that one or not? It's like, I don't know. Especially with some of the historical stuff. Like I think right now I've got all of the original MSVs. I've got to double check. But if I see one that's like, oh, I'm not sure I have that one, I can check my list. Also, at the same time, I'm pretty sure I'm going to try to collect all the 0080 original models, not the HGs, but the original 1144ths. I should go and get more black Mr. Color. Yes, you should. You cannot have enough of that. Really bad at buying duplicates of paint also. Yeah. Again, if you're planning on using it again, it's not a bad idea. Tom, you should. Yep. Got my tax return, and I think I need to reward myself with the kit. There's always a third new. Always. Historical stuff, aka depictions of George's youth. Yeah. If that were even close to being true. Given I was born 20 years after World War II ended, not so much. More than 20 years. It's Tom painting kit. First gen HG. No, before the HGs. This is when they were just non-grade 1144 scale. Remember, 0080 came out in 1989. HG was at least 5 years away. Another PG new incoming to Tom, maybe. They do not. I don't believe so, Joe. Take another. I can take a look at the box art, but I don't believe they had HG on there. High grade wasn't introduced until the mid-late 90s, if I'm correct. Okay. No, you didn't start until the mid 90s. Yep. Dyslexia strikes. We'll start on this side here. Ooh, that's going to be fun. And ultimately, it's not like this is that important. But I will say there's going to be a whole lot of interesting laying down. Ugh. This is going into some crevasses. Sorry, guys. With all the repeats Tom has, shouldn't it be the PG usual by now? Nice. Even when new series came out, like W83, the kits were no grade. Correct. That many repeats. That many repeats? Out of my 360 kids, only like 10 had repeats. Only 10, yeah. I've got, I think, like 5 maybe. There we go. I'm going to do the other side, and then we're going to do a show and tell. Some of the repeats are different brands. That's a different kit. If you're buying, like, for example, like especially with things like armor or planes, if you're buying, say, like a 148 scale Tamiya of something and a 148 scale of Hasegawa or Great Wall or somebody else, that's a different thing. I mean, I've got a Königstiger from Flyhawk, and I've got a Königstiger from Meng now. You know, I've got a 172nd scale. I think they're Hasegawa or are they the Tamiya ones? I can't remember which ones we're going to be doing as a build off. And I've got a 148 scale Tamiya. Wouldn't consider those duplicates. Let's do the underwing one. It's almost exactly the same. What a surprise. Except for that stupid little hair. A little Malenki hair that's under there. Let's see if Ken caught that one. Bastard American Art version. It's a different brand. Bastard American Art version had it. Also basically finished. The Hellcat just need to glue the bombs on, then calling it. Nice. Tom, please tell me you're going to be bringing that to at least PatCon. And Tom, if you're interested, I did post on my on YouTube the flyer or the address and dates of the ValleyCon next weekend. I have 4 Tomcats, Tamiya Academy, AMK, and a Rebel. Nice. But you're right; those don't have HG on them. Yeah. Bastard American Art version had it. Did it really? Back in the early 90s, I didn't think that they could have. HG wasn't an American thing. I'll have to do some historical looking into the box art. Maybe go to Scalemates later, Joe. Thank you for bringing that up. I'm actually kind of curious about that now. Has AMC Theaters gone down the toilet again? I don't know why. Do you have a Tomcat from Tom and Jerry? Everyone should have a Tomcat from Tom and Jerry. It's curled a little too much, and this way. Let's try that again, shall we? De Dios. Sorry, guys, going on here. Seems to be about right there. Open that corner. Crossing into that, just a smidge. Yep, there. It's the 080 Dom skill level 3 HG. They even put Gundam in yellow and big. That still might be the HG kit, Joe. If you go to Scalemates, look up the whatever the Dom is and see. There's a Dom in 0080. I'm trying to remember where that would have been. But if you take a look at the original 1989 kits, I don't think any of that stuff had any of that writing on there. Okay. What we're doing now is just very gently pressing in some of this stuff into some of the recesses. There we go. I will say this frog tape is laying down extremely well. Get rid of that Malenki hair. Just use that term again. Ken, can you figure out what that's from? All right. What time is it? Yeah, still got time. AMC, the movie theater, would be my guess. Inspector Chapter 11 filing from AMC. Not a surprise. Ruined the art. However, article was paywalled or geolocked for a foreigner loser like me. Nah, it sounds like it's the theater. It doesn't surprise. I mean, movie theaters. I mean, how many people are going to movie theaters today? I don't know, but I'm assuming it's becoming very much they're trying to make it more experiential, and therefore it's more of a night out. So standard movie theaters. Oh yeah, I'm sure they're going away. Okay, let's do a little show and tell. I did get a P band I ordered. I placed a long while back. All stuff that normally it's not typical. Let's put it that way. The first is the Med, which is the unit that Hathaway Noah basically kind of pilots around. The only thing I wish they had, and it doesn't look like they do, is I wish they had a Hathaway Noah figure for it. Now they're saying this is HG, but there is no marking that this is 1/144 scale. I think this is larger than 1/144. Listen and watch the glory that is Project Hail Mary. Go see the biggest screen available. Really? The glory that is Project Hail Mary. I'll take a look into that. And then the next one was the Torahachi or Toro 800 from Unicorn. Again, surprising that they don't put figures in these things, or they provide figures, excuse me. I mean, sorry, that's wrong. This could be fun because they got a cockpit in there. I'd love to see how detailed that cockpit is. Has been precisely reproduced. Yeah, you know what? We might pop that one open. Take a look at that. When last night I watched if you live near Vela, I saw a cool wavy building there on my corporate screensaver. The wave in Vela. Yes. Nice. Something tells me I might have seen that building in the Tour de France because, again, the Tour de France doesn't always start in France. And then just because I really like the high mobility Zaku's, and this one was actually fairly well priced. Yes, it's a 1/100 scale. This is Gabby Hazard's, again, it's all that bell bottomy stuff with the thrusters and everything like that. That is what I like. And I think the backpack on this thing is also supposed to be something pretty intense. For the life of me, I know he's supposed to be some ace pilot, Gabby Hazard, and I'm trying to figure out what did he appear in? I did research on it last night, just trying to figure out, so what was he in? No idea. In U.S. freedom distances, everything in this tiny country is close to whatever, but no, I wouldn't say that I live near Vela. Am I even pronounce it correctly? Is it Vela? So those are the the three doodads. We're going to pop this one open because I want to take a quick look at this. We got two more masks to lay down. I'm going to get those down. We'll be done here. So we got plenty of time. Recycle that. U.S. freedom distances. You know, Peter, I'm just going to just say it out loud. As an American, I'm very disheartened by your international hatred of us Americans and this country. You know, just because we're victorious in everything we do, you know, you shouldn't blame us for that. Maybe you should stand up for yourselves. I'm trying to even keep a straight face and say all that shit. Oh yeah, this cockpit blows. You would pronounce it. So Vila? Is that correct? Hey, Edwin, good evening. How are you? Damn work keeps making me late. No worries, Robert. Good morning, Robert. How are you? Metric equals imperial. Yeah, ain't that true? Oh yeah, see this? Man, I got to tell you. That cockpit absolutely requires, first of all, this is not 1/44 scale. It's HG, but not 1/144 scale. That cockpit absolutely requires like greebling the piss out of it. Like I would take a look at some, you know, what's going on in what they call it in like a modern aircraft, and see if you can replicate a lot of that stuff inside here. You know, but wow, that's just, I mean, that's just freaking lame. Hey, Robert. Screw you, angry angel. I said his was much bigger than here. Oh my God, that's perfect. Peter, that was beautiful. Thank you. Screw you, angry ancient man. I know. Orc Battle Wagon proxy as in Aliens APC almost done. Need to spend next week totally painting it. Nice. Nice. Look forward to seeing some photos of that, Edwin. That'd be pretty cool. Morning, folks. Good morning, Robert. How are you, my friend? All right, let's get the next set of masks on here. We've only got two more to go. And then I might look at repainting the or remasking the back end of this thing. There we go. Frustrated. I just failed to properly create a 630 report due to lack of experience. Nice. And were you called out and threatened? That's always good. Hate when we fail because we don't have experience or the support we need to do that right. Oh, man. So Peter, and for everybody else, I watched and it seems to have gone pretty viral, photos and videos of the Japanese prime minister after our president's shall we just call it a faux pas? She looked literally like she just pooped her pants. It was like the funniest thing. Oh my God. I can't even imagine the conversations that were had after that meeting. and will continue to be had for a while. Nope, I'm on my ass about it. No one has ever even noticed I fucked up. Really? Oh, that's interesting. So you're feeling guilty because you made a mistake that others may not even notice you made. Interesting. Wow. There we go. Try to flatten that a little bit. There we go. At least when GWB said stupid shit, he was low key and folksy and adorable. Yeah, exactly. It's like, what the Ghost Shadow? That Ghost Shadow just say? Oh my God. A lot of pride in doing my job right and well. I don't give a fuck if no one gets mad. It's my duty. I do it. Yeah. Good for you. I sort of feel the same way, except I'm running into a lot more walls where I'm starting to feel like I'm saying at my work, saying, you know what? Yeah, fuck it. Don't care. And that it pains me to say that, but it's a survival tactic. I'm showing here Biden's auto pen picture and then laughing together over it. But yeah, the Pearl Harbor incident was funny. I got to tell you, I can't imagine. Like I said, this isn't a political conversation per se, but I guess are we crossing over into such a laughable situation that this is happening on the world stage? Imagine that. Imagine, for example, like you're going to see some world-class musical performance or world-class um, stage performance, and you're literally watching something that could have been done like in an elementary school play, right? Or elementary school, like kids learning how to play their instruments, and you're like, what the fuck is going on? That's kind of what it feels like. It's like that this stuff is happening on the world stage is unbelievable. I'm so entertained at how unprofessional and troll-filled our political party has become. Oh my God. Yeah. And I'm not happy to hear you say that. I'm just as dismayed. You're entertained. I'm just dismayed and shaking my head, just thinking, and how do we look in front of the world? Now, some people might just say, fuck the world. To which I would say, no, you don't say that. But it's just unbelievable. But her expression, that she just sat there with that doll-like constipated look. God, it was terrifying to see. Guys, give me a moment. I'll be right there. I'm just going to get this mask laid down. Just barely over. Yeah. That looks about right. Let's press it down. Oh, need to move it forward just a bit. Sorry, guys. Just want to get this thing laid down. No, need to put it off a little bit more. Of course, now my nose decides to run. Fucking great. Okay. Sorry, guys. Gotta do some business here. Okay, let's read some of the comments here. I was saying that Senator Kennedy is the best of the best, though. I don't know about that. He certainly has. He's certainly been better at calling things out, but Yeah, at least he's calling shit out, which is good. I'm glad to see that the Republicans are starting to become a little bit more, and again, sorry to go down this path, starting to become a little bit more like, yeah, this ain't good. That makes me feel happier. How else could a head of state country where the culture is all about respect and collectivism react to the bull in China shop? Oh, brain farts. Oh, absolutely. No, I totally get it. And I world of respect for how she was able to just not call that shit out. Diplomacy by retardation. Yeah, I read on NPR that we are halfway between a liberal democracy and a dictatorship. Yes, the democracy. I guess I was reading a report about that yesterday. That democracy across the world is collapsing, and here in the U.S. at a slightly faster rate. And I think he edged the doomsday clock the closest to midnight ever. Way to go, Donnie. Has he really? That I haven't heard. That wasn't so subtle. Yeah. I've got a political theory that I will share in just a second. Let me get this thing laid down first. I think that looks right. I think I'm covering enough of the. It might be that this is just not very even. You know what? That looks right. No, it doesn't. Move it down just a smidge. Give me a second here, guys. I'm sorry about this. You talk amongst yourselves. There we go. How does this look? Yeah, that'll do. Okay. Let's see what I've missed. Oh, that's a hair in there. I got to get that hair out of there in a second. Let's see what I missed. Subtle. Has historically had a rough business relationship in Japan. Really? Did not know that. Surprised why Denmark and NATO are less enthusiastic about helping after a month of. I know shitting and sacrifices. Oh, absolutely. Because we still officially celebrate Victory Day, formally Victory over Japan Day. Really? Yeah, well, I'll do it. Went from 21 to 50 in the list of current democratic societies. No, that's special. Trump is malignant, solipsistic narcissist that thinks the world revolves around him. It's why he doesn't understand Christianity, empathy, or the concept of soft power. Not going to disagree. We talking about the dumbass and This is not the day for the political conversations. I think all I wanted to point out was that the commentary that was made by our president, and in relation to the Japanese prime minister, who looked literally like she just shat her pants. And I'm not saying that in a condescending way towards her. That the look on her face was just unreal. You can't pretend doing something nice for someone to develop a rapport and influence. He only thinks in terms of force. Yes, not going to disagree on the business. Electing someone like that twice, only reinforcing his delusions. Correct. Guy is archaic limestone from the 80s and needs to be ground into dust. All right. Let the wind carry it to sea. I'm not surprised that someone who does whatever the hell they want is not popular. Respect in Japan, a culture very driven by tradition and structure. Yeah, exactly, Katie. Let's not forget that Tom has two, I repeat, two PG News. Exactly. So let's not forget. We are not forgetting that ever. That was George pushing into the PE antenna. God. I literally thought I snapped it off. Something tells me these wings are not very they're not evenly constructed. But there they are. And they seem to be mostly even. Mostly. We'll see. Let's see, where are we? Nothing wrong with 2PG News. That is correct. China needs to get on the ball with making PG new pre-cut masking tape sets. That wouldn't be a bad idea. Just trying to be a humor to stream away from politics. All right. No. It's like saying George has over 750 kits. Yes, George has over 750 kits. George is now at definitely over 800. And I'm okay with that. Now, a bunch of them are finished. Not fully. Okay. This is ready to go. Like I said, hey guys, I'm not looking to stop the conversation on politics. I just don't want to cross into having a political conversation per se today. We can definitely try to do that on a Thursday. I'm hoping to get back to doing that at some point. Now with my wife starting her job, there's a possibility that might happen on a Thursday. Get dinner started, get home, get dinner started, and then do it for like an hour. But I just know that, like I said, I don't have a problem in taking pop shots, and in fact, I don't have a problem in vilifying and denigrating the both the all the leadership right now, because we are in such a fucked place. But I also want to make sure that we're not this is not always the best forum to do that, because if I get started, it's going to get pretty intense. Let's see. George is at number where he just stops counting again. No, I'm at like around 823 because I added a bunch of stuff last night. Or something that's more than he has hairs. Oh God, yeah. Oh yeah. I counted my hairs. It's like, yeah, I think I'm at like 698. Peter. Miss her that is 750 kids. Edwin, that's awesome. Well, one of my grandpas had 600 kids, if I'm not mistaken. Jesus, man. And Edwin, I know that you said you've given me some of the back history on your grandfather here. It still is mind-boggling. It's like he's like the Johnny Appleseed of human reproduction, just dropping his seed everywhere he goes. Said yes. On a slightly more entertaining and less depressing political topic, George, have you seen any of James Tallarico in Texas yet? Have I seen any of him? Yes, I try to follow what he does pretty closely. I'm a big fan of his. I'm a very big fan of Tallarico. And for one key reason, aside from his political stuff, it's nice to actually hear a Christian politician who actually sounds like a Christian. Um, oh, by the way, before I forget, Edwin, Eid Mubarak. I apologize for not saying that sooner. Dude was a king. He got what he wants. You know what? Yes, he did. And maybe he didn't have to go far and wide to spread the seed. The seed, he just dropped it right there. It just migrated. That is true. We're not going to talk about that, but yeah, that's something I've noticed. And it's like, what the fuck is going on? How is it that you get older and things migrate like that? Was that Grandpa Genghis Khan? I know, it's pretty interesting, isn't it? Long enough to remember George had 600 plus, it's now 800 plus. Yeah, I know, it's such a good thing. I love how you get a Christian preaching, love your neighbor and take care of the poor, and the religious right is out literally calling him Satan. I know, it's the funniest thing. That's because, let's be honest, and this is the place I will go, Christian nationalists are not Christian. Just gonna call it that. These psychotic evangelicals do not know the first thing about Christ. Again, sorry, you don't. This is all you need to know. Yep. Thank you, George. Finally, I can eat normally, and Satan has come back. I love it. Excellent. I love it. All right, let's get the last mask down. You know, one of the things I was very blessed with, besides meeting my wife went to Boston University, got her master's degree in theology, master's of theological studies. I was working at the theology library. One big benefit of being at Boston University for a decade and being at that library for 6 years was having met my wife. The other benefit, smaller but still important, was the understanding of plurality, religious plurality in the world. So as much as I have faith, my faith, and I believe very strongly in it, I also believe very strongly, because something I learned while I was there, is the importance of plurality, that dialogue needs to be had amongst all the different religions in order to have clear understanding of your own faith and understanding and tolerance of others. Very important. Well, I did cut into the glass a little bit on this one. Let's see what we got here. So any holiday with food. I'm good with that too. Noah Gramps is a Javanese king, not Genghis. Although no one at one time of Genghis came and bamboozled by one of my granddad. Edwin, I think you said there either is a book or a book is being written about your grandfather. I got to tell you, that to me could be a very fascinating read. On another note, do you think they will ever find Genghis's tomb? That's a good question. I don't know. For sure. Given enough time, probably. In our lifetime, I don't know. Let's check to see if they're, yeah, they're right there. I thought I saw a hair on there. Because one cannot avoid freaking hairs. A basement with enough dust bunnies. Okay. Hey, Richie. What's going on, brother? You have from Bataan? What is the pickup line you use? I was too stupid. It was my wife who was kind of like, was kind of hanging around along, and I was kind of hanging with her too, but I was like being like a total dope about it. She came in with an apple pie, and that's kind of what secured it. No. Then we started hanging out together. It just kind of fell into place, but it was primarily I had no line. I'm not that smart. Let's see. Richie, what's going on, brother? How are you? Excited for today? Anybody's getting ready for today. Yep, it looks like he is. To finish the body of the MG Nuverka. Man, this kid has some interesting engineering. Yeah. Just like Katoki Designs. There's a little jank, but man, it's gorgeous. Nice. The Grandma Diary. Need to dig that from my dad laptop, but as for those Javanese kings, there are many sources. Let me see if I can find a good book that summarizes them all. That would be cool. Down to 685 hairs. All right. Last mask, and then I got to get going here. Clip that corner like so. Get right there. I can already see. Oh, fuck, man. Barely touching. I have a feeling that these things are not very even. There's a hair in there, which I'll have to cut out afterward. Too far that way. Got to bring it back this way. I think that's it. Of course. Sorry, guys. Came over here. Nope. In fact, you know what? Fuck it. I'm done with. I don't like using tweezers when doing this work. Okay. And now my nose is starting to run again. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Damn it. Always in the middle of something. Guys, I do apologize. This is just taking way too fucking long. I mean, that's where it should go. And again, maybe it's just that this thing is just. Could be that the detail that's laid down on this thing is just not even enough. Now clip that part. That's. None of that makes sense, but let me take a peek. Too low here. 1, 2, 1. Yeah. Okay. Whew. Sorry, guys. Maybe today there is a certain generation that does not find apple pie to be all that wholesome any longer. Oh, I don't trust people who don't like apple pie. If apple pie has taught me anything, it is to lock the door. What? That's good advice. Lock the door. Yeah. Joe, take care, brother. Have a great rest of your day, my friend. Yes, keep stick on ice. If I can meet any of my granddad, I would like to. The one who has an amazing career of thief, then a goldsmith, then became king. He knew how to hustle. Yeah, I guess so. That's what she said. So you do. One thing is the car use. Always show a shoe in the road. Oh God, really? Chuck Norris passed recently. Yes, he did. Oh well. It's like the gold standard of the hit by car piece. Well, Ken showing the body is insensitive. Yeah. Torn about it. So I liked him as an actor. Don't like it. I never cared for him as an actor. Don't care about his politics. Chuck Norris didn't die. He went hunting for the $5 death loaves. The shoe seems so ghoulish. It's all ghoulish when you do stuff like that. It's a way of coming close to showing what's going on without really showing what's going on. Nope. Nope. Yep. I'm just going to do it right there. Good enough. Yeah, good enough. Tomorrow laid down. Okay. Here we go. So we got all 6 of them on there now. And that is ready for paint. The only thing I'm going to do before I get started on painting is I've got to replace. You can actually see the tape starting to lift. I got to fix that. It's getting worse. So as soon as you start playing any kind of air pressure, it's just going to blow that tape right off. Yeah, it's all not sticking, which is weird. It's not even sticking to itself, which is even weirder. My only fear is that I didn't hit any of the, I didn't want to hit the paint underneath. I don't think I did, which is good, but I can't tell. Sorry, guys. I'm going to take this stuff off real quickly. I'm not going to apply it right now, but I'll be applying it tonight. Anyway, you can almost see that metal finish is still there, and it's still looking good. We'll see where it goes. So I'll be masking that tonight. I'm going to leave it just like that as a reminder. Do not paint this thing without masking this thing again. Hey, Chuck Norris didn't die. He just got promoted to Grim Reaper. Let's see. Maybe they just carry a shoe with them for the shot. They've got a collection of like beat up old shoes. Oh, not even the victim shoe. Oh my God. I forgot it was Saturday. Hey, Ray. What's going on, brother? Love the memes about him, but just what he championed outside of the personas. I was displeased. Oh, I'm most displeased considering the last few years he was a supporter. Yep, I would like to think that Chuck was bored up here, so he decided to go take over hell, defeating the real source of all evil. Curious about American perspective. I'm curious about American perspective on what Sheila Booth might make an interesting president. Where the hell did that come from? Here to go for now. See you all tomorrow. Edwin, have a lovely evening, my friend. Thanks for popping in. Always a pleasure to have you here. Can you disagree with the person's politics, but still like or respect the person, or does the political inevitably paints? I'm going to leave you guys with this one in just a second, just for sometimes it's easier to separate the celebrity and the personal lies. Yeah. We let our words drip like wisdom upon you. Yes. I think it depends on how far their politics go. I don't think it's just the politics, depends on the person and the position. Yeah, because here's an example. I absolutely don't like Woody Allen. I mean, the guy's a scumbag, right? We know that this guy's done some nasty shit over the years. However, he's produced an amazing oeuvre of films, right? Throughout the 70s. Annie Hall, Manhattan, Jesus, I'm spacing out on so many of them now. Zelig, the rest of them, just great films. The guy was an amazing filmmaker, and for me, I have to personally separate my view of him as a person from him as a filmmaker. And I know it's like, if I say to my family, hey, I want to watch a Woody Allen film, they're gonna be like, no fucking way. And I get it. And I totally agree with it. Chilling with a new kitty. Is that what the photo was that you sent me, Ray? I can't wait to see her. You guys are up to 5 cats now, right? Match Point was great. Yeah, the movies are great. In the same way with like Roman Polanski. Like, I just watched Chinatown again. I love Chinatown. It's a fabulous film. The guy's an ass. The guy's a child rapist. Okay, so may he never find his way back to this country. And it's painful that France has harbored him for so long. The same thing with politics, or like when you have an art and you have a terrible person behind it, you have to make a judgment call about whether or not it's worth it. And at least in terms of filmmaking, again, too long of a conversation. I separate the film from the filmmaker, meaning the guy at the top. Anyway. Oh, I like George W. Bush's politics, but I do like him. Yeah, only because he is still relatively humane. But when you go into anyone who supports it becomes fodder to me. I agree completely. Got this one at AutoZone. Hold it. You got this one at AutoZone? What? You basically said no, unless they have your beliefs in politics. A person's politics won't change my view of them. I still think all of y'all are okay. That's probably because you're starting to see that we're right. Shots fired. Basically said no, unless you have the other politics. Still can't listen to Wagner to this day. Really? Yeah, I can't stand Will Smith anymore after he showed the world how much of a piece of shit was at the South that was. Yeah, that was I gotta tell you, I kind of look at that whole situation. It's like, really, you're just whether that was play or not, it was just stupid shit. Parts cat. Oh God. Oh. I was buying car parts, and the guy at the counter had a tote full of kittens. Really? That's awesome. All right, we're going to put the masks away. We're going to put the tools away. We're going to call this one done. I thought y'all were all left. I don't think there's a left and right anymore. Let's be honest. I think there's a right and wrong. And I think we agree on a lot more right. And by right, I don't mean right leaning like right and left. I mean right and wrong. My kid's friend's dad's Republican, but I'm friends with him because even though he's yeah. I thought y'all were all left. Trying to be. It's not about left and right. It's about right and wrong. Morally right and morally wrong. That's where it stops for me. All right, my friends. I'm hoping tonight I will get some more painting done on this thing. That is the goal. If that is the goal, then I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow because I'll be just painting. If that's not the goal, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I might have to work on the Harpy or something like that, or start cleaning this desk. We'll figure it out. Later, I tried to judge by actions and content of character, not bully. Yeah, exactly. I'm not. Yeah, totally agree. I know. I just left it open for right and left. 2 wrongs don't make a right, but 3 rights make a left. I guess they kind of do, don't they? Not. I like bot beliefs. Oh, happy. Oh, Harpy. Oh, we'll see. Maybe not. Happy Harpy. Stay safe and stay sane, guys. Thanks for being on this morning. I do appreciate it. Good conversations all around. Fun conversations for the most part, right?
Except that shoe thing. That thing's gonna wig me out all day. Anyway, guys, go do good out there and enjoy what you do as much as possible and bring that joy and happiness and goodness to others, right? Don't vilify people, don't treat them like shit. Don't treat them like they're I don't know. If just do good. Kindness, love, respect, right? Anyway, with that, I'll be back on tomorrow, same time, same channel. Enjoy the day, guys. Love you all. Catch you on the flip. Peace.